We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
Well, welcome everybody. Today is August 31st, and this is our Awakening Together weekly gathering. I am so glad for everybody who could make it. Thank you. The title of today's weekly gathering is Hiding the Light Under a Bushel. So, you know, you don't want to brag. You don't want to stand out among your peers. Maybe you're judging your own shifts. Maybe you're judging the shifts of others. And yet we're hearing that 50% of members participating in a sangha awaken. So why is hiding the light under a bushel so accepted and sometimes even expected? How can the cycle be broken? So what I'm hoping to do today is just talk about some of that social programming and hopefully lift off some of the layers so we can start letting our lamps and other people's lamps shine more brightly. The statement of purpose today is, or of Awakening Together always, is we are an assembly of equals joined in a common purpose, awakening to one true self. Within the appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and many symbols, we seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. These core values, I actually really hits today's theme greatly. I'm going to do two of them. Core value number one, we trust everyone is led by unique inner guidance to one experience called awakening, which is the realization of one true self. We live this value, the value of we trust everyone is led. We live this value by supporting one another on a different path of awakening. And then core value number two, we realize everyone is equal and no one has been given the spiritual intuition that is an authority over the spiritual intuition of another. We live this value by listening to each other, respecting each other, and allowing each one to be where they are. And this weekly gathering was a total surprise to me, and I'll explain that as I give my talk. So it's a total surprise. This is totally an inspired type of week, and so we'll see how it unwinds. Thank you everybody for the announcements. A big thank you to Beverly for serving, but it would be remiss. A big thank you to the Board of Trustees and the Board of Directors. They go above and beyond to make sure Awakening Together is running smoothly. So thank you to all of our current board members. Congratulations, Connie. Fran without a plan. That sounds exciting. So, and remember the retreats. So thank you, everybody. Our opening song today is, I know what it is, but Nidra Born, Feel It to Heal It. So I'm going to be talking today about what is our direct experience that makes us want to shut down when we have an awakening experience or when we hear of other people's direct experience. So this song, Feel It to Heal It, I thought would be very appropriate to start with. So Marisol? I take a deep breath and I ask that any words that come out of this mouth, this body, is taken with the love and the intention that they're being served with. May the words of today not seem braggish or boastful. And may everybody take away what they themselves can find useful. Regis is going to be our reader today, but I have to say a big, huge thank you to Regis. Again, I told you this was kind of an inspired last minute knee jerk. Sharon's going to do it this homily this week. And so on Sunday, I reached out to Regis via email, and Regis and I have never met. We never spoke. And I said, hey, do you want to do this reading on Sunday? And within minutes, nothing but absolutely yes, purple blue heart, or a purple heart. And I was like, So my big, big gratitude to Regis. The reading today is going to be from NTI, Luke 7 and 8. They're excerpts, and an excerpts from David Hawkins' Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. And I said it was chapter 2, but David Hawkins is Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, and it's chapter 1. I'm sorry, I misprinted that when I wrote everything out. So Regis, off to you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Mic on. Perfect. NTI Luke chapter 7 and 8. Listen to me in trust and faith, for all that I share is important to your healing. You must practice what I share with you. You must remember my words and treasure them within your mind. Ask me for more, and they will be given you. Have faith that you are worthy, and you will hear. For it is my will that you hear my voice. When my will meets your desire and the quietness of your mind, it shall be done, and you will hear. Ask for healing of your mind by asking that my thoughts be placed there. As you seek, you shall find. You cannot fail to find that which you seek in honest faith. I am calling to you now. My hand is outstretched to assist you as you rise. What is your choice? Are you ready to awaken to life? Free yourself from those thoughts and open your mind to me unfeathered by expectations. Blessed is the man who does not fall away on account of me. Why did you begin this search? What is it that you wanted to find? Did you really expect to find the peace of God in your way? This path that you have chosen is the greatest of all paths within the world. Yet, this path is within the world. To know the kingdom of heaven, you must be willing to step off of this path with me. In honesty, look at your expectations and at what you want. Were your expectations given to you by me? If they are not, then they are not of me, and you will not know me if you judge me by them. NTI Luke chapter 8. You are looking at yourself now, seeing what you believe is your unworthiness. As you complete yourself to others, you note that you are not good enough. And I'll say that one again. As you compare yourself to others, you note that you are not good enough. You do not give enough or practice enough. In your own judgment, you are never enough. Let's review what I've asked of you. I have asked you to trust that you are worthy. I have asked you to let your sickness rest. I have promised that we will look at your sickness together, and have asked you to nurse your willingness with gratitude. There is a thought within your mind that says the healing that I speak of is impossible. and it cannot be accomplished. That is because there is also a thought in your mind that believes the cloud cover is all that you are, and it does not see how all that you are can be made perfect. This is the thought that I have told you about. This is the thought that you are inherently unworthy. This is a thought that focuses on the cloud cover as all there is and does not realize that you are the infinite blue sky that rests behind the clouds. To realize your truth, you must have faith that the thought that you are the clouds is wrong. It is a mistaken thought. Yet, it is a thought that you believe. In order to discover for yourself that this thought is totally false, you must be willing to look beyond the clouds with me. You must be willing to take your eyes off of what you believe is true, and in faith, look with me beyond that limit. To stop at the limit will not show you what is beyond it. You do not know what is true, but you can take my hand in faith and walk with me to what I know. In coming with me and seeing beyond the clouds, you shall realize that truth has always been true, and peace has reigned unchallenged while you merely looked away for a little while. Dr. David Hawkin, Chapter 1. You meditate, chant a mantra, drink green tea, try the Pentecostals, breathe in fire, and speak in tongues. You get centered, learn NLP, try actualizations, work on visualizations, study psychology, join a Jungian group. You get Roth, try psychedelics, get a psychic reading, jog, jazzercise, have colonics, get into nutrition and aerobics, hang upside down, wear psychic jewelry, get more insight, biofeedback, just talk therapy. You see your homeopath, chiropractor, neuropath. You try kinesiology, discover your Enneagram type, get your mirrors balance, join a consciousness rising group, take tranquilizers. You get some hormone shots, try cell salts, have your minerals balance, pray, employ, and beseech. You learn astral projection, become a vegetarian, eat only cabbage, try microbiotics, go organic, eat no GMO, meet up with Native American medicine men, do a sweat lodge, try Chinese herbs, monocombustion, shiatsu, acupuncture, feng shui. You go to India, find a new guru, take off your clothes, swim in the Ganges, stare at the sun, shave your head, eat with your fingers, get really messy, shower in cold water, sing tribal chants, relive past lives, try hypnotic regression, scream a primal scream, punch pillows, get Felton craze, join a marriage encounter group, go to Unity, write affirmations, make a vision board, get rebirth, cast the I Ching, do the tarot cards, study Zen, take more courses and workshops, read lots of books, do transactional analysis, get yoga lessons, get into the occult, study magic, Work with the canoe. Take a shamanic journey. Sit under a pyramid. Read Nostradamus. Prepare for the worst. Go on a retreat. Try fasting. Take amino acids. Get a negative ion generator. Join a mystery school. Learn a secret handshake. Try toning. Try color therapy. Try subliminal tapes. Take brain enzymes, antidepressants, flower remedies. Go to health spas. Cook with exotic ingredients. Look into strange fermented odysseys from faraway places. Go to Tibet. Hunt up holy men. Hold hands in a circle and get high. Renounce sex and go into movies. Wear some yellow robes. Join a cult. Try the endless varieties of psychotherapy. Take wonder drugs. Subscribe to lots of journals. Try the Pickerton diet. Eat just grapefruit. Get your palm read. Think New Age thought. Improve the ecology. Save the planet. Get an aura reading. Carry a crystal. Get a Hindu side rail astrological interpretation. Visit a trans medium. Go for sex therapy. Try tantric sex. Get blessed by the Baba, somebody. Join an anonymous group. Travel to Lourdes. Soak in hot tubs. Join Erica. Wear therapy sandals. Get grounded. Get more prana and breath out of that stale black negativity. Try golden needle acupuncture. Check out snake gallbladders. Try chakra breathing. Get your aura cleansed. Meditate in the Cheops, the Great Pyramid in Egypt. And you and your friends have tried all the above, you say. Oh, the human, you wonderful creature, tragic, comic, and yet so noble. Such courage to keep on searching. What drives us to keep looking for an answer? Suffering? Oh, yes. Hope? Certainly. It's not by finding the answers, but by undoing the basis of the problem. The state reached by the great sages of history is available. The solutions are within us and easy to find. The mechanism of surrender is simple and the truth is self-evident. It works during daily life. There is no dogma or belief system. You verify everything for yourself, so you cannot be misled. There is no dependence on any teaching. It follows the dicta of know thyself. The truth shall set you free, and the kingdom of God is within you. It works for the cynic, the pragmatist, the religionist, and the atheist. It works for any age or culture, background. It works for the spiritual person and the non-spiritual person alike. Because the mechanism is your own. Nobody can take it away from you. You are safe from disillusionment. You will find out for yourself what is real and what are just the mind's programs and belief systems. I'll read that one again. You will find out for yourself what is real and what are just the mind's programs and belief systems. While all of this is going on, you will become healthier, more successful with less effort, happier, and more capable of real love. Your friends will notice a difference. The changes are permanent. You aren't going to go for a high and crash later. You will discover there is an automatic teacher within yourself. Eventually, you will discover your inner self. You always unconsciously knew it was there. When you come upon it, you will understand what the great sages of history were trying to convey. You will understand it because truth is self-evident and within your own self. Thank you.
Regis, thank you so much. Thank you for agreeing to read, and that was absolutely beautiful. So today is really Anne Blanchard's fault. She probably doesn't even know that. Last week, she gave a awesome homily. Her transmission was beautiful. She was able to lead us into some direct experiences of where the I disappears. But she started her talk with, and I'm going to bastardize this. I was going to go to the transcript to read it, and I never got around to it. So sorry if I'm not saying it exactly right, but it was something along the lines of, I've had this experience over these retreats, but we're kind of taught not to talk about these things. And then we're kind of, I don't want to come off as being, bragging, and I don't want to be boastful. So, we have all of this social programming, and yet 50% of a sangha wakes up, right? So I had a real knee-jerk reaction to the beginning of that, because what I'm remembering is I have other people in the sangha say, as after they've listened to other people's transmissions or direct experiences, oh, I don't really like listening to their experiences, because sometimes I think it's more ego talking, like they have to talk to us about that. I've had people in our sangha say, their direct experience isn't really what my direct experience was. So I'm not really sure if they've had a true direct experience, or if it truly is what they think it is. And I go, when I judge a seemingly other, and I say seemingly other, I am limiting self, not myself, self. Because when I say somebody out there cannot have a direct experience, I'm saying I cannot have a direct experience. And why do we keep kneecapping ourselves? And the reason we had Regis read, I mean, it was like 4 paragraphs of, I tried jumping up and down, I tried being on my head, I tried, swimming naked, I've tried everything. We're trying everything. And then the minute I think I have a direct experience, well, it's not like the direct experience I had the other day. No, it can't be that. Or the minute somebody in our sangha has a direct experience. And this goes beyond our sangha. I was talking with somebody who, a guru that we all look up to, said, hey, talk to this person. And so I'm talking to this person, we're having our little chat, and I said, oh, by the way, I had a session with somebody else. And this person said, oh, I really don't know if they're awakened. Some people think they're awakened, but I don't really know if they're awakened. Wow. Wow. That is coming from somebody said this is an awakened person. And okay. So again, we're limiting are my self's ability to awaken, because anytime we have judgment, right? So what happened is after Anne's homily, which was awesome, we got it in the chat. Go listen to it. It was great. In fellowship, I said, hey, I had such an urge to call Rhoda and say, give me the homily next week. I want the homily next week. There's something I got to say. And these words are coming out of my mouth. I'm like, come back, don't. And so then I went ahead and kind of explained my knee-jerk reaction to Anne's. And I thought, oh, good, I'm done. I get an email from Laura Joy Bedford, who was scheduled to speak today. And she said, hey, I heard you wanted the homily next week. Why don't I give it to you? Oh, okay, so brain's going, Sharon, you're just a really busy person. You got things, you got peeps, you got fams. Yeah, no, but I could feel this is what's going to happen, right? So I kind of made a little bet with the universe. I said, okay, I am not going to sit around searching for quotes and excerpts. If it doesn't show up on the very first time I open something up, I'm just going to say no. So lo and behold, open up my Kindle. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to NTI. I haven't opened up NTI in quite a while. Just scrolled through the chapters, picked one, boom. I'm like, this is perfect. Turned around, asked Regis if he'd like to read. Within seconds, he really turned around and said, absolutely, no ifs, ands, or buts. No, you got to get it to me by this time. Just very open. So, okay. Obviously, even though my personality is kind of uncomfortable with this, there's a mechanism in place moving this whole thing forward. If you follow Angelo DeLullo, he has an entire entourage of awakened people that go to his retreats with multiple personalities. There are people who are warm, fuzzy. I can stay in their presence all day long. There are people who are in your face, kind of abrupt. There are people who could talk to a brick wall and never shut up. There are all types of people. But those people, supposedly, right, have reached some realization. So even though I'm not always enmeshed or um, liking their personalities, it doesn't matter. And believe it or not, even the people I don't mesh with in their personalities, when I sit and talk with them, if we're in a group where we sit and talk with them, there is always a transmission. And I kind of chuckle. My brain kind of goes, yeah, you're thinking about, how they can talk to a brick wall, and yet I still get a lot. I still get a lot. Some of you know I've been doing Feder work, and my mentor is a lady by the name of Camille, and so I'm having this discussion. And she says, even fully realized people do not know who is truly awakened. Even fully realized people do not know if you've had a first awakening or a true awakening. She goes, oh, we could get ideas, but we really don't know what's in the heart of other people. We just don't. And again, the idea of saying, I did not have an experience or they did not have an experience really is just mind thought, is really just brain attempting to limit our direct experience, right? I specifically chose something from David Hawkins because when I first joined Awakening Together, there was this video that got played a lot, and I'm sure you guys saw it. It was about David Hawkins' experience and about how difficult it was, and then he was going on to say that there's such a small amount of people that can awaken, and it's like the camel going through an eye of a needle. And I hated that video, hated it. That was long before realizing that there's billions upon billions of people in the world. And then as we get into a sangha, of course we're already on the path, right? And so then I come out and find out just very recently that he said 50% of sangha members awaken. 50% of our family awaken. And it's not about supporting them, like, oh, they've had a great awakening experience and I'm going to support them. It's about supporting us in our awakening journey. Because he says, this is David Hawkins, the mechanism of surrender is simple and the truth is self-evident. There is no dependency on any teachings. It follows the dicta of know thyself, and the truth shall set you free. Who am I? And whatever direct experience I have is my direct experience. And if I'm given the freedom to sing about my direct experience from the rooftops, and I check my knee-jerk reaction to shut off other people's, is it jealousy? Is it's some sort of judgment, it's some sort of mind game that I'm judging other people's direct experiences. And it's pitting myself against somebody else. Like, since they're not the same, one of them has to not be true. I think that's it. Since they're not the same, one of them's got to be false. And I chuckle because Shauna and I have been walking on this path together for a few years, and it's really interesting because I am going one direction, she's going the other. Two totally separate experiences. And yet both of us are having direct experiences and realizations, as each and every one of us are. All of us are. David Hawkins keeps going on to say, because the mechanism is your own, it's your own. How this personality is going to do it is going to be totally different than the personality of Angelo DeLullo, which is totally different than the personality of Helen Hamilton, which is different than Anne or Shauna or Rhoda. And nobody can take it from you, he says. You will find out for yourself what is real and what is just the mind's programs and belief systems. Any thought, I'm not doing this right. It's not the same. Somebody else is doing it differently. I first have to get through this I am bad belief before I move on. Any thought, guess what it is? It's a thought. I know. Thoughts are not what's going to set us free. You will discover the automatic teacher within yourself. So this is the man who says it's harder than hard to awaken. You will discover there is an automatic teacher within yourself, period, end of story. Guess what, kids? Listen to it, be it, embrace it, love it. Eventually you will discover your inner self. That's my alarm saying, Sharon, shut up. Eventually you will discover your inner self. You always and unconsciously knew it was there. You always and unconsciously knew it was there. So I don't have a great way to wrap this up because, like I said, there was absolutely no thought put into this. It was more of just what's coming out. It's the universe unraveling upon itself. But I really invite us to embrace this awakening process and embrace the fact that I am, right? I am, you are awakening. It's not a maybe sometime in the future. It's not a, well, Regina is because she got this group together and she's like the best and I can never be as good as Regina is, and she's the one who's awakened and none of us are. She never ever put this group together, so she's the only one who can awaken. We're all here to realize the truth. And that journey looks different for all of us. So I invite everybody to sing about their direct experiences. I invite everybody to embrace what their transmission is, just like Anne did. And that might take a little bit of courage to not listen to my brain telling me that it's wrong. It might take a little bit of courage. So our song for contemplation today is called Grateful. Oh, gratitude. And it's because I am really grateful for this family. I am really grateful for our Sangha. Because without you, I would have never been able to experience the direct experiences that I've had so far. And so when Maricel starts playing this, she's also going to put a link in the chat because Awakening Together is supported by donations. And if you feel so called, please feel free to donate also. Enjoy the song. So big thank you for Regis for saying yes. I appreciate that deeply. And your purple hearts. I can't wait to meet you in person and give you a big hug. Big thank you for Awakening Together and all of you, because it's us, it's the family, it's Awakening Together, it's the Sangha. I have no other words, it's just what it is. If there's anybody who would like to share at this point in time, well, we have a David. Mr. David, go ahead.
Hi, I would love to share. This was so great. Thank you so much, Sharon. I really liked it. What I really heard so much today that resonated with me is that the truth, as we experience it, when it starts to come out of us, it comes out through who we are, through the color of you, through that mechanism, as you had kind of referred to it. And I loved when you were holding the path that you walked and the path that you said Shauna walked, and how that can look different. And I love the multiple truths that come, where the thing is, and ties into the song, and I'll stop. But the thing is that in that song, he says, I have nothing fit for a king. A king as like an ultimate truth. There's no way I could ever have anything for that. All I have is the truth as it's colored when it comes out of me. But there's so many of me, there's so many of us. And so there's multiple truths, and that's okay. And then we see the song, I have nothing fit for a king. So all I really end up doing is being as close as I can to right now, because that's as much as I can do. Thank you so much. This was a really great teaching and I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And now Regina's going to tell us that it's only for her and it's awakening together because she is the one that created it. So Regina, go ahead. I'm teasing.
Well, I'm sure that that's exactly why the guidance was to name it Awakening Together, because it was only for one person, right? No, what I wanted to say is, I thought that your point, the idea that, these direct experiences can happen for me, that was one of the things that you said. These other people aren't really having these direct experiences. I think that's something else that you said. It's interesting because, of course, I listened to Anne's weekly gathering as well. And then when we had, and I loved her experience and I loved the inquiry that led to the experience. That was an inquiry that I had never thought of before. So I loved that. But also when we had the ministers meeting on Monday, someone else shared a direct experience where she became the sunset. I recently taught the 4 Principles of God retreat, and one thing that kept being asked during that retreat is, what's the first principle direct experience? Like, what's that like? And the first principle direct experience is the no subject. Like in the second principle, there's still, they call it a subtle duality. There's still this sense of a presence that's aware of everything. And in the first principle, even that presence that's aware of everything vanishes into that direct experience. And so when people say things like, I became the sunset, that's what I would call a first principle direct experience, like the subject just vanished in it. But when I heard, Anne's teaching, and then when I heard this experience through the ministers' meeting, it never occurred to me to think, these people aren't really having these experiences or anything limiting like that. In fact, what happened to me is I became very excited, in that 2 days in a row, I heard 2 different Awakening Together members describe first principle experiences. Now, of course, I understand they aren't established in that first principle, but when we get glimpses, that says there it is, right? And it's possible for me. And a glimpse says I'm on that highway. And, I was so excited. So that has also inspired my weekly gathering, which is coming up in 2 weeks. And what I've started doing is just keeping a list, because when inquiries come into my mind, they're used in that moment, and then they leave. And like if somebody's to sit down at lunch and say, well, what are some inquiries other than who am I? I'd probably go blah, 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 because they're not there in that moment. So I've started creating a list of these inquiries that are valuable, that can lead to these direct experiences, including, I added the one that Anne mentioned. But I think what was really interesting is, I think, again, it never occurred to me to think they're not really having those experiences, or what I saw was, oh my gosh, look what's happening here. Let's embrace that. I can't think of the word I want to use, but it's taking advantage of something that is showing up and going out. Let's make it more. I can't even think of a word. I wish I could. I'll probably think of it later. But anyway, so I just wanted to comment on that. I think that you and I both kind of saw it in the same way, and both of us were inspired to give weekly gatherings. So thank you so much, Sharon, for bringing this forward. Bye.
Thank you, Regina, and thank you for all you do. And another culprit is Laura Joy, because she's the one who actually followed her guidance to email me last Sunday. So, Miss Laura. You're muted, Laura.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm so glad that this worked out. And I just wanted to share an affirmation, a message through our Holy Spirit, or whatever we might say, that came through the form of Andy Schragle, but it just affirms everything. We remind you that you are all the frequency of heaven here now in whatever body-mind experiences you may be having. Feel the utter power of your countenance. And it goes on, and then it says, so we ask you, dear one, at what stage is the development of a tree wrong? For when we perceive through the mind of God, everything is unfolding in absolute perfection, radiance, and certainty. We honor you, we love you, and bless you as the most precious reflection of divinity. Have fun, be curious, and open to all the opportunities here for expansion and to taste your freedom. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura Joy. So my final song is fun. So at family weddings, when we have a large group, and it's either on my husband's side, big Italian family dancers, or my side, which is big drinkers, Irish, still dancers, we love a song that just, we get up and shake and we're together and we're hugging each other because we are family. And so that is my closing song today, is Soul Sisters, We Are Family, because we are family and we need to celebrate it and support each other and hug each other and love each other. So Marisol, here you go. So according to the Soul Sisters, have faith and you can't go wrong. I'm releasing the mic back to Marisol. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You've been watching our online gathering. It happens weekly on Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. To join us live in the sanctuary, visit our website, awakening-together.org. You'll want to click on Online Sanctuary in the main menu, and then in the drop-down menu, look for How to Enter the Sanctuary. Right there at the top of the page is a clickable link. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary and join with you in fellowship. Thank you again for watching. Also, please know that if you'd like to stay connected via the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. We hope to see you in the sanctuary.